Hello, everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Okay, imagine having a literal superpower that lets you connect with over a billion new people around the world. Well, if you're a 7th grade learner just kicking off your Chinese language journey, you're about to unlock exactly that. Today, we're unpacking your Unit 3 guide, culture, and the ACTFL 5 Cs. And look, I really want you to think of this not just as, another class to get through, but as your official passport to the globe. We're going to explore how learning Chinese opens up entirely new ways of seeing, thinking, and genuinely connecting with others.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap for today so you know exactly what milestones we're hitting. We've got 5 stops. 1. Connecting language and culture. 2. The ACTFL 5 Cs. 3. Your Chinese course pathway. 4. The HSK proficiency levels. And 5. Your Unit 3 learning goals. Moving right along to Section 1. Connecting language and culture. This is really the why behind the whole journey. So, how does language learning actually connect culture, identity, and community? Take a second and think about that. Because learning Chinese, it's not just sitting at a desk memorizing endless vocabulary flashcards. No way. It's an active bridge to totally new people and experiences. When you learn the language, you're really learning how a whole other culture expresses its identity. And honestly, you're figuring out exactly how you fit into that massive global community.
That brings us to Section 2, the ACTFL 5 Cs, which is basically your compass for learning.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ACTFL World Readiness Standards. These are the 5 Cs that are going to guide your entire middle and high school language journey. First up, communication, actually talking and writing to real people. Then cultures, understanding the traditions and perspectives of Chinese-speaking regions. Next is connections, linking what you learn in Chinese to, say, your world history class. Then we have comparisons. This is super cool. It's looking at your own culture and language, like comparing how you might just say a quick hey to a friend in the US versus the culturally appropriate way to greet an elder in China. And finally, communities, taking all these skills outside the classroom walls and using them out in the real world. All right, let's hit Section 3, your Chinese course pathway, the roadmap for grades 7 through 12. So you've got a long-term roadmap ahead of you, with 2 really exciting options depending on your placement and your personal goals. If you look at the general pathway, you can progress sequentially, Chinese I, right on through to Chinese 6. Or you can take the HSK pathway. This one lists courses aligned specifically to international proficiency exams, starting at HSK 3 and going all the way up to HSK 6. So what does this tell us? It proves that language learning isn't just a one-and-done, single-year thing. It branches out, giving you this awesome continuous path to build your skills all the way to graduation. Up next is Section 4, the HSK proficiency levels. Think of these as your mile markers. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that the HSK isn't just some random pop quiz your teacher dreamed up over the weekend. It's a globally recognized national standardized test. It specifically measures your ability to actually communicate in the real world, whether that's in daily life, study, or eventually work. So let's break down exactly what those levels look like as you travel down this roadmap. Okay, so the first 3 rungs of this HSK ladder, phases 1, 2, and 3, they're all about mastering the basics. Phase 1 is level 1. This is basically survival mode, handling simple daily chats, basic greetings, ordering food, that kind of thing. Phase 2 steps it up to level 2, where you're making basic exchanges about, say, your typical school day or weekend plans. And by phase 3, level 3, you're communicating effectively in all those everyday scenarios. This is your beginner journey, right? It's where you're turning scattered vocabulary words into genuine, meaningful interactions. Then, moving into the intermediate mile markers, things start to get really interesting. At phase 4, level 4, your communication becomes complete and coherent. Your sentences actually start to flow smoothly. By phase 5, level 5, you're accurate enough to use Chinese for serious academic projects or study scenarios. And hitting phase 6, level 6, that's where your speech becomes rich and fluent, and you're navigating complex conversations with a lot of ease and confidence. And finally, we reach the ultimate destination, the expert levels. Phase 7 and level 8 are where you can fluently debate and discuss really complex topics like current events or history, entirely in Chinese. And that ultimate goal, level 9, that means precise expertise. You're expressing your in-depth ideas flawlessly across almost any professional setting, practically like a native speaker. It's just truly amazing to see the full journey mapped out from a simple hello to absolute fluency. Let's bring it back to the immediate present with Section 5, Unit 3 Learning Goals, your destination for right now. So,
The crucial point is, for this specific unit, you have 4 clear missions. Think of this as your actionable checklist. 1. Identify the ACTFL 5 Cs, which we just outlined together. 2. Compare cultural practices. 3. Use the language you're learning for real-world tasks, keeping those exciting HSK communication goals we just talked about in mind. And 4. Reflect on intercultural communication. Seriously, if you can complete these 4 missions, you have officially mastered this course module.
So, I'm going to leave you with this thought. How will your next conversation bridge 2 entirely different worlds? Language is your tool, the 5 Cs are your trusty compass, and those HSK levels, they're your map. Now it's time for you to take that first step. I really hope you're feeling curious, prepared, and just incredibly excited to jump into your first Unit 3 lesson. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and happy learning!